Hit record too early there. Wasn't ready. Hello out there. We are on the air. Welcome back. Another day, another episode, another edition, another dollar. Is it though? I don't even know if this live stream will take in $1 today. From YouTube, anyways. Rumble, a little different. Zapstream, little different. YouTube, be lucky to get $1. All right, Zapstream's working. Zapstream, zap.stream/Jor/Jor. I'm a little out of it today. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that today is a normal day for me. It ain't. But the nice thing is we're here, right? So we got, let's check on the chat here. We got Killer with the first chat of the day. Killer76, good to see you, my friend. Scotty on Rumble says, hey, is this the right place for cat and dog videos? It is. You're in the right spot, Scotty. You're in the right spot, my friend. Although we don't have any Arnie today. We got a busy household right now in the background. And so he's hidden. He's actually on strike because he got his first zero sat episode the other day. So he said, screw it. We're going on strike. Ryan, good morning. Paulie says we may as well have the cats and dogs in charge of the Canadian government. I agree with that. Todd says, I too am looking for dog and cat video. Nav, good morning. Bull market is back. Is it? Did we ever leave? I don't know. That's what you got to ask yourself. Look at a 15-year chart of Bitcoin and tell me that we haven't been in a 15-year bull market here. Although it's not even that. I mean, it's a combination of a bull market and governments just printing insane amounts of money. Oh, Arnie's outside. I can hear him. I can hear Arnie boy. Just hang on a sec. All right. We should be all right. We should be good. Samantha says, hi, Jor, came and got a message to verify my account to chat. Verify is in like email, ID, phone number. What was it? Sounds like the UK government's after you. Todd, Joe from California says, morning, Jor and family. I'm ready to get a Coldcard. What are your thoughts on the MK4 versus the Q? Also, can you give me the web address to buy them from? Okay. I can do that. That's my it's my specialty here. I might have thought you were a different Joe from California. I don't know. Either way, my thoughts on the Coldcard MK4 versus the Q. I think they're both great devices. It was actually the Coldcard MK4 that was my second. I had a Trezor first, actually. I had a Trezor with a bunch of shit coins on it and a little bit of Bitcoin. And then once I figured out what Bitcoin was, I got a couple MK4s. And they're great. I love the MK4. I've always liked the design of them. They're a little bit difficult to navigate just because of the buttons and the arrows and I don't know, the buttons are a little sticky too sometimes. I don't know. Could have just been my device that I had. But I really liked the MK4, and that's what I would recommend everybody get into. And I helped a lot of people get started with the Coldcard. But ever since the Q came out, I love this device. The other thing about the MK4 is unless you have one of those cold pack adapters for it, it's a real pain in the ass because you basically got to be like a foot away from the wall to use it. And so when you're trying to go through it, I can't tell you how many meetings I had with people where they would be getting their 12 or 24 word private key generated and they're writing it down, and the cord, because it's just like a magnetic cord, it would flip off and they had to restart the whole process. So that's the one piece of advice I would say if you do want to go with the MK4. It's a little cheaper. So if you're conscious about the money, then MK4 is a great option. But make sure you get the cold pack with it, which is another $30 too. So it's like, why not just buy the Q? Because the nice thing about this is it has AAA batteries in the back. I don't leave batteries in it though, because I don't want them to like corrode. But it also has the USB-C. That's usually what I use it with, just because I don't feel like putting batteries in it. But outside of that, this one's just easier to navigate. I find I like the keyboard. There's different buttons on it. There's 2 slots, which I think is kind of unnecessary. Who was it last week? I think it was Cedar Sats actually that told me that there's actually 2 slots in the background there. You can't really see them, where you can store your, they're right here. 2 slots right there for your as micro SD cards. So I'm a micro SD card myself. Both the MK4 and the Q allow that. MK4 only has that because it doesn't have the QR scanner at the top. So I like both. If you're somebody like me who uses SD cards, then MK4 is great. It's a little harder to navigate. You got to be close to the wall. I would just spend a little bit more money and get the Q personally. In terms of security, I think they're pretty much identical. From what I understand of it anyways, they both have the secure elements in them, which basically means, from my understanding anyways, is that if somebody got access to this and they didn't know your PIN code, even if they tried to crack it open and extract the private key from here, it would just brick itself, which is a good feature to have. Very good feature to have. So yeah, I don't know how many attempts you get at a PIN code, but after like 15 attempts, it bricks itself, which means that you just can't use the device anymore. If you had your 12 words written down somewhere and stored properly, you could restore it into a new one. But that's the secure element, and some devices don't have secure elements. So when you're looking at this kind of stuff, make sure you do your due diligence on it. And I believe this one has 2 secure elements actually. So if you get past the first one, you got the second secure element to deal with. And in terms of the link for it, I'll share it in the chat here for you. And if you're watching this later, I'll also put it in the pinned comments for you. So there you go. All right, Rumble's buzzing. We got 30 people over there, 5 likes. Wow. That is a new all-time low. All-time low. Jake, good morning. Good morning. Need a coffee. Me too, man. I had quite the day yesterday. Quite the day. I left the house at 6, drove for 5 hours, little more than 5 hours. And then I drove 5 hours back home, and I got home at 11:30. Didn't get to sleep till about 1:30 or 2. So yeah, I'm going through it right now, but we're here. We're here. Scotty says, Joe from California, I think the Q is good if you can afford it. Jor will probably buy 2. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that, actually. Forgot about that. Good point, Scotty. You know me better than me. But yes, the nice thing about getting 2 Qs is this is my suggestion for people. This is my, what can I call this? This is like my starter security route. Starter security setup. Triple S. Get yourself 2 cold cards, Qs. Get them in, receive them in the mail, get a micro SD card with them as well. And With the one device, you generate a new key. So the nice thing about the cold cards is everything's generated offline. The private key never touches the internet. So you generate the private key, you write it down on a piece of paper. You take your backup device, cold card 2, the second one that you ordered. You take the 12 words that you wrote down and you go to restore. So instead of generating a new key, you would actually click restore from a backup and you put your 12 words into your backup cold card just to make sure that it works, because you don't want to go through all the process of setting everything up, sending all your Bitcoin there, and then something happens to your cold card and you find out that maybe you wrote a word down wrong or out of place, or you spelt it wrong, or you can't read it, whatever that is. You test it out. So you use Coldcard Q to test it. And in terms of like where to store things, what I would suggest is actually taking Coldcard 1, so your original one, leaving it with the bank. Put it in like a safety security box or somewhere that you really, really trust. I don't know, maybe that's a lawyer, whatever you trust most. Leave the device there. From there, you take your 12 words, you hide that somewhere in your house. You can. The paper steel debate to me is a little bit weird because I personally prefer paper, even though I've used steel before, even though I still have steel kicking around here. I like paper personally for a few reasons. Number one, you can easily take it through an airport if you needed to. So that's why with like Superbacked, we have the QR codes that are on paper. So you can take it through an airport. You don't have to worry about the steel, setting things off. The other thing too, though, is if like somebody breaks in your house, a sophisticated attacker, and they're after your Bitcoin, they're probably going to bring a metal detector because that's a pretty way to find a seed plate or a steel plate. So you get your cold card, the device itself, it's in a safety security box. You got your 12 words on paper hidden somewhere in your house. And then you have your cold card 2, which you can just use as a practice. You can, after you put in your, after you properly successfully restore it, you can reset it. And then you can just keep a little balance, create a new wallet with your cold card 2, keep a little bit of a balance there. Use it as like a decoy wallet, but also you can use it to practice with. So that's kind of my ideal setup for somebody who doesn't want to go through the process of like setting up a multi-sig yet, or using Superbacked like encryption or inheritance stuff. That's what I would say is a good first step for people. That routine there, that setup. I think that's pretty solid. And then from there, I would suggest adding a passphrase to it. But start simple. Don't overcomplicate things. If you can get that set up, your Bitcoin's probably going to be pretty safe. And in terms of keeping the 12 words, one other consideration here that I've been telling more people, bringing light to anyways, is like, okay, so let's use the example that I had there, the ideal setup. Nice thing about that is you can take those 12 words, and even if your house burnt down, right? That's why most people use steel, is because in case of their house burning down and them losing their Bitcoin. But the nice thing about this is even if your house burnt down, your device is still off-site, which means you could just go down to your safety security box, get the key, open it up, restore it, whatever you need to do, get the 12 words, write them down again, put them in the new house. But what I've been telling people is like the first thing that people think of is like putting it in a safe. Why? Because it's fireproof, which is a good idea in theory. But when you actually think through what could potentially happen there, somebody breaks in your house, where's the first place they're going to look? Somebody breaks in your house like this, where do they take you to? The safe. So I wouldn't honestly recommend putting your 12 words in the safe unless you want to lose your Bitcoin. So find a better place. With paper, you can put it literally anywhere. You could wrap it up in I'm not going to give away any secrets here because it's a public show. But you eventually want to get to a point where you don't have any sort of trace of Bitcoin in your house at all. And that's what we do with our 21 sats security inheritance protocol, is you can keep everything completely offsite. So you have numerous points of failure off-site. And if you're looking for like a collaborative custody model, I think that the 21 Sats inheritance is 10x better than everything else. And one of the reasons for that is because we don't have any KYC, and we're starting to see that was kind of the theme of today's show, is that Bitcoiners are becoming big juicy targets, because they are. And I'm going to share a few examples here of what triggered it today. But like, if you think about it that way, with keeping things around your house, but sorry, going back to the non-KYC thing there. So there's been a lot of different attacks. The attacks will continue against any Bitcoin company who's storing their information about their customers. So when you're using something like Unchained, for example, I like Unchained. I like the idea of it. My only problem with it is that you're fully KYCing yourself, and you're exposing how much Bitcoin you have, and you're letting somebody else hold a key to that Bitcoin. So with 21 Sats, what we use and what we help people with, there's no KYC. We don't even have to know your first name. Literally, the only reason we need your first name is to be able to communicate with you and say hi, name. So we don't keep any information. We don't store any information. And so that's a pretty important part of this new scary world we're moving into, is that you don't want a whole bunch of companies having your information if it relates to Bitcoin. So that's kind of like the starter kit, but you can also upgrade to something like super backed with 21 Sats for full protection. Gray says, good morning. Touch grass, get sun, stack Sats. It ain't that hard. Amen. BTC pleb, good morning. We might need a bigger pump. This is the way. Yes, it is. What the F is going on out here? Lucky's losing his marbles right now. Hold on. Fucking guy. Just mayhem. Okay. Old school. Good morning. Oh, we missed a couple zaps here. Sorry, folks. Missed a couple zaps on my little rant there. Okay, so we got a DCA from our guy Duncan, 25.24. It looks like the price of Bitcoin is up since we chatted last. So thank you, Duncan. Thank you. And it looks like we got some zaps to the wall here as well. We got 37.37. I'm guessing that's from our guy Todd. Thank you, Todd. And we got 4,444 sats from, I'm guessing, Joe. California Joe. What is the date today? 12th. Oh, okay. So we got a couple zaps yesterday from our guy Bill, 5251. All right. Bill was the zap king from yesterday, it looks like. And then we got 1,888 sats from Paulie D, who says Daisy sends Arnie her regards and her old bones. Yeah. Arnie doesn't need regards today. He's okay. Thank you, Paulie. Appreciate it. Juan. Hey. No Arnie today. No, unfortunately not. My target is covered by an orange jacket. Nice. Grace says, get 2 cold cards if you can, but getting one of each would help you get familiar with different sign devices. This will be an important skill in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's, if you want to layer on top of that, you could say 2 cold cards, 1 passport. And then you have a multi-sig. Whenever you're ready for it, your multi-sig is all ready to go. You have all the ingredients necessary for it. All right, we got 40 people over in Rumble and 15 likes. A little better, but still not very good. You know what I mean? I would argue pathetic. I would argue pathetic. Oh, we also got a zap for 364. Sorry, I missed that one. And that one is to our show's wallet here for the show, for the program. 88 sats at speed.app. I should share this with Nostr, though, although we're not... Oh, look, we got some people on Nostr. We got a zap, big zap. A fat zap, a legendary zap. Fat zap Tuesday. Why not today? Nah, we can't overdo fat zaps. Fat zaps are only for Friday. We are live. Let's just go with that. Keep it simple. Still don't know what Lucky's doing out there. I called in some backup, but I don't know what's happening out there. Something is happening. Okay, Matt's here. Good morning, Matt. Paulie says, I've received a very professional apology letter from Bitcoin Well, admitting mistakes regarding my missing funds. They've tweaked procedures and offered me a voucher. Nice. Well, that's good. Thanks for sharing that, Paulie. That's good. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like every company is going to mess up somewhere along the way, especially a company at scale with a lot of customers. They're going to mess up. And I think that if we can just understand that every entity is just humans and humans are not perfect. But the important thing is that they admit that they're wrong and they make good, right? That's the key there. So I'm glad they gave you a voucher because that is a lot of wasted time. And I'm sure some sort of penalties on your bills that were missed. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Paulie. Thanks for sharing that. Pep from Kekistan, or Pep the Kekistani. Good morning from Kekistan. Nav says, did the U.S. print 80% of dollars in existence in COVID? I thought it was 40%. Either way, the crazy math on that is even if it's 40%, they printed 40% of the new dollars in the last 5 years. That means that baby boomers who went to work for 40 years basically had 15 years of their life. So 40% doesn't sound like much. Even 80%, you might say, oh yeah, okay, cool. Way to go, US government. You printed 80% of the new dollars. But when you think about it in terms of real life time theft, 40 years somebody works. 40% printing equals 15 years working for free. And then you also mix taxes into that. And it's like 40-year career, maybe you got paid for 10 years of it, maybe 15. That is fucking insane. And anybody who tells you differently or tries to downplay that, don't ever, well, you can speak to them again, but it's crazy. And it's crazy that we just sit here and accept it. Jay says a block reward of 3.125 is massive. We are so early. Yeah, it's like 400 grand now, isn't it? Anyways, we got, thank you, Josh. I kind of shouted you out there, but I didn't give you proper shout out. Thank you, Josh. 8,888 sats over on Nostr. My man, Josh, is the MVP. Josh is the MVP, the undisputed MVP, the most consistent zapper and supporter of this channel. I'm not downplaying anybody else. I'm just pointing out facts. Josh is here every day and very, very generous fella. Thank you, Josh. Is treasure not enough? I mean, if you must, like, I just don't understand why people are settling for less than the gold standard in Bitcoin. It's like you're protecting the greatest asset in human history, not in our lifetime, the greatest asset in human history. And you're like, well, is treasure good enough? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I know that the cold cards are the best objectively, and well, you can't really say objectively in my opinion. From my personal experience, from the people that I trust within the Bitcoin community, Coldcard is the best. And I don't even know what I would put second. Maybe the passport, the foundation passport. But like, nobody understands what they're holding. That's the problem here. If you had $10 million, would you buy a $60 safe from Walmart because it had good reviews? Or would you take like $500,000 and deck out your whole property with security and not a safe, but maybe a vault? Like, that's how you need to be thinking about this. This isn't like whatever amount of sats you had, the fiat dollar that they associate with that is completely irrelevant. Times it by 100, times the fiat price by 100, and then figure out your protection from there and see if it's worth it to invest $200 in a better device or $2,500 in encrypting your backups and geographically dispersing them. Moro says, I have an MK4 with a case from Beans, Bullets, Bitcoin, and I love it. Nice. You can build a seed center for $50. Yeah, you can, but I wouldn't. Especially if you're brand new to Bitcoin. Like, I wouldn't even feel comfortable after being 4 or 5 years in Bitcoin building a seed center. I don't need to. Somebody else can build it better than me, and they have. So I'm a little on edge today, if you couldn't tell. I don't know. And maybe it's my own life too, that I'm getting very frustrated with shitty people. Not anybody here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on anybody in this chat. I'm just saying, like, the people out there who are it's just frustrating. It's frustrating that there's people on this planet who have no issues just stealing from people. And that's never going to change. And I can't worry too much about it. It's just like, fuck me. Like, I don't know. There's different types of theft too, right? There's people who are close to the money printer who benefit from that. There's people who literally hack websites, steal information, sell that information, try to trick people into giving their life's energy away. There's people who promote shit coins, even though they know that it's shit coin. There's just so many shitty people out there. And it's like, I don't know, maybe we're spoiled here because we spend so much time with people who are on the same kind of frequency as us and who want good for the world. And it's just like, I don't know. It's frustrating. But I mean, that's why we're here. That's why I show up here every single day to try to in any way that I can help people or call it bullshit or whatever that may be. Phone. I don't know what, Samantha, I don't know what phone means. I feel like Samantha's going through it. I don't know what's going on, but Samantha's having a hard time with her technologies right now. Duncan, DCA received, my friend. Thank you. Capaholic says top of the morning. 21 Sat Street. Kev is here. Good morning, Kev. Good to see you, man. Santino, the 88 Sat starter pack. Yeah, I should make a little protocol for that, actually. That's a smart idea. Problem is I have too many ideas and not enough time. So that's why I want to, I like sharing my ideas because I want somebody to do something with them who has time. Frank, good morning, Jordan family. Keep stacking sats. We are right about Bitcoin. Funny you should say that, Frank. We are right about the Bitcoin. Solar Satoshi says, stupid out how we have to verify our phone number with Rumble. Is that new? I've never verified mine. I wonder if it's going to make me do that if I try to chat. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Don't be too loud. There we go. Okay, live chat. Test. No, it worked. I didn't have to verify my number. Maybe if you update or something, I don't know. Anyways, new account, not new here. Gotcha. Previously AJTF. Shitty. Frank says, I prefer 21 inheritance protocol and the QR blocks to protect the Yeah, I forget they're called blocks. That's right. I always have to ask Craig that. What are the QR things called? Blocks. Ian's here. Good morning, Ian. Good to see you, my friend. Patty P, Party P is in the house. Good day, Patty. Seed Center is a seed QR code instead of words. You can put a dummy pin for Coldcard. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is like Coldcard's very good for beginners, but also it has a lot of advanced features on it. Josh says Letha too. She's mint with zaps. Yes, we cannot forget about Letha. That is for sure. Letha, the icon. You don't get the icon behind your name if it's not deserved. So big shout out to Letha as well. I don't think she's here today, but we love Letha. Love, love, love. In the future, Bitcoin will be pure consciousness. I don't know about that. But again, I do really think that we're moving into a completely different world. We're not going to recognize anything from the old world. I mean, even look at 4 years or 5 years since 2020. Like, look how much the world has changed since then. It's just like, it's not even close. And that's after 5 years. So yeah, I mean, you might be right. Look at this guy. We got Josh on YouTube, on Rumble, and on Zapstream sending fat zaps. MVB, most valuable Bitcoiner, MVB. Todd also with a big zap this morning. James, good morning, my friend. Thiago, not sure I can like the video if Arn isn't here. I know. I'm sorry. Don't worry, though. After today, Arnie's going to be right beside me here. Just stopped on. What did I miss? Lots. 364 for day 364. Oh, I thought it's 363 today. 363. So you sent me one sat too many. But either way, I very much appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 363 today. Lucky's chasing squirrels. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He was making some sort of commotion out there. And I still don't know what's going on, but we'll find out soon, I'm sure. We got a couple zaps here. 555, 2500. That's a CYM Ian zap. And 888 sats. So thank you to all the legends out there supporting the show here. All right. What do we got here? What do you think will happen with AI around the corner? Will they print the hell out of the currency and not let prices fall, but then debt will be worthless? Yeah, it's going to be super interesting to see what happens with it, honestly. It's going to be very interesting. But here's the thing. If you can take one step at a time, one day at a time, and move yourself from the fiat world into the Bitcoin world, and not just with your savings account, not just with how you spend things, but really putting a lot of time and energy into the Bitcoin ecosystem, then that kind of stuff doesn't even matter. I mean, my life has got significantly cheaper by living on a Bitcoin standard in the last year. Like literally everything's half the price for me right now as it was a year ago. But that's how I like to think about it. And I haven't really used this analogy for a while, but I think it's a good one. Because when you think about how you spend your time and energy every day, right? Because we're tricked into thinking that when we vote, when we want to have our say in things, we go down to the booth. Every 4 years, we go down to the polls and we write some dipshit's name on the ballot. And we place it in the box and we think that that matters. But as we know, voting is the equivalent of sending a letter to Santa Claus. What you can really do is you can vote with your money, where you spend, which companies you support. You can vote with your time. Are you watching Netflix or are you watching Anything, a tutorial on how to do whatever you like doing. Are you sitting on your phone on TikTok or are you golfing? You get to vote with your time, your energy, your attention. That's the real voting that happens. And so you can take time. Let's say you have two buckets. This is the analogy that I like. You have two buckets here, right? And before you get into Bitcoin, you have your fiat bucket and your Bitcoin bucket. And your fiat bucket is full of water, full. You spend zero time in Bitcoin. You spend all your time in fiat. You earn in fiat. You watch Netflix. You watch NFL every Sunday. Fiat. Vote. But every day you just take one drop. You don't have to pour the whole bucket into the Bitcoin pail because that's a recipe for disaster. That's how you lose everything. But you just take one at a time, one drop at a time, and you just keep compounding that. And eventually you're going to be about 50% in fiat and then 50% in Bitcoin. And then you keep going. And eventually, slowly, that's why I like the reference there, because it's drops at a time. You're not taking like a full scoop and putting into Bitcoin. It's just one thing at a time where you're shifting your energy from fiat, because what you give your time and attention to, that grows. And so by you contributing to the fiat system, that's helping it grow. So I don't know what's going to happen, but the point I think for everybody here is just to slowly move out of that system so it doesn't matter. That's my roundabout answer for that, Nav. Jay says the traditional lottery will seem smaller and smaller, and Bitcoin mining will have even grandma's eyes wide at some point. I mean, look at the lottery winnings in fiat and Bitcoin for the last 10 years. And yeah. Same as like, I've done this a couple times, but like if you look at the purses of like a golf tournament, so let's say that back in 2015, the prize for winning a golf tournament was $2 million. And at the time that would have got you like, I don't know, 50,000 Bitcoin. That's just that's no math at all there. That's just a complete guess. So $20,000 or $2 million back in 2015, 50,000 Bitcoin. Today, the prize purse of that golf tournament would probably be 4 million. All the prize purses have gone up in fiat dollars in every sport, contracts, prize purses, everything. But in 2025, that $4 million might only buy you what? 30 Bitcoin? It's the equivalent of 30 Bitcoin. So it's the same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. Hey, Citadel Daniel's here. Good morning, Daniel. That might have been Daniel who sent in that 888 sat zap. I'm going to assume it was. Eat a steak, bro. You'll feel better. Yeah, I know. Might have a steak tonight, actually. That's a good idea. Is Coldcard the name of the wallet? Yes. CoinKite is a manufacturer, and Coldcard is the wallet. Coldcard Q. Ardman says the other crazy thing about printing of the money is that you earn more, but takes you into a higher tax class. Yeah, no doubt. What a scheme. What a scheme. They got it all figured out how to screw us. No doubt. Stack enough sats so you can walk away from situations you don't like. Amen. Amen. Praetorian. Good morning. One of our Bitcoin journeymen here on the channel. Sats give you options, the biggest flex. Yes, absolutely. Jake says, how's the feedback on the new 88 sats radio logo you shared? It was good. A couple people said it was a little bit busy, which I kind of agree with, but I like it. I might change my profile pic on YouTube. It's kind of, I don't know though. I kind of like the old school one. Like this logo here. I generated that on Canva, I think, with like a free account. It's a shitty logo. Like it's very poorly designed, but I kind of like it. I kind of like how shitty it is, if that makes any sense. So I might just use that other logo for some different things along the way. Orville says, good morning, Bitcoin fam. One sat, one orange pill, one day at a time. We don't save in Diddy dollars. Diddy dollars. I've never heard that before. That is, that's good material there. Josh says, think I'll go for a hike in the East Coast today. Bring my fishing rod and drive my quad out as well with a mask on. Oh, I forgot. With a mask on, A. Oh, shit. Okay. Making sure I didn't miss anything on Rumble. Okay, so we got, what do we got on Rumble here? 40 people, 22 likes. Not bad. Not good, but not bad. Pralim. Pralim. Morning from India. Nice. Work Save Bitcoin. Yo, Jory, you get a chance to try Sats Arcade. I have. I was in the leaderboard for a while. Actually, speaking of that, we should get some new signups on Sats Arcade. I think I have my link here somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I do. Look at that. It made it onto my referral link document here. So this is a project that Josh from Work Save Bitcoin and Forrest from Bitcoin Not Crypto and Maple Bitcoin, they've been working on. So if you use that link, you can sign up, get some free sats, I believe. And there's a couple good arcade games on there. I mostly play the Flappy Zappy, I think it's called, but I want to start playing a little bit more. It's just I don't have a whole lot of freaking time, but it's a great site. You can win sats if you get your name on the leaderboard. You get a weekly payout, so it's percentage based. So like the top spot in the leaderboard might get 50%, second might get 20%, etc., all the way down. And so you can win sats every week by playing games on Sats Arcade there. So get yourself an account. You can generate a brand new NPub when you go to the site there. You don't have to use your existing Nostr one. Just make sure you save it. So yes, I have, and I like it. Assumed yesterday's show would be a 363. That's fair. Yesterday was actually a replay. I don't know if people caught that or not. I didn't really mention in the chat, but that was actually a replay from about 6 months ago when we were talking. I was talking with Brown. The price of Bitcoin was 85,000, I think, at the time. Oh, look at this. Wow. 4 minutes ago, somebody just sent in 20,000 Satoshis. Wow. 20,000 Satoshis to Arnie's wallet. He's whining out there. He wants to come in here. He wishes he could show up to work today. So I don't know who that was. Maybe in the comments we'll find out here. But anyways, what day is it today? The 12th? So that is the new Zap King of today. I'm going to put yesterday because who was it? Actually, you know what? Sorry. So that was August 11th. Here, let me do this quickly. I gotta get my shit together here a little bit. Okay, so let me bring this up here. We're going to switch, I think, from Zap Queen today to be Zap King. For yesterday, anyways. I don't know who sent in the 20,000, but and I still don't know who sent in that 30,000. So we're just going to put Satoshi. It might have been Letha, because I saw Letha zapped someone else, maybe Jerry, 30,000 sats. So that might have been Letha. But yesterday we're going to put, we received $20 from Sats and Sunset on the Bram show yesterday. So that's going to be the Zap King, because Bill, although sent in 10,000 sats total, $20 worth was 16,748. So that was Sats and Sunset for that super chat, although YouTube probably took half of that. So it's kind of an asterisk there. But anyways, Samantha says, you're right about all my technologies given problems lately. Phone means having to verify. Oh, sorry. Gotcha. Yeah. I asked you the question. That's my bad. Phone means having to verify on Rumble, even though I've been chatting here for some time. Brutal. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. MHMA says, is Maple Bitcoin hiring? Yeah, I mean, we are. We are hiring. I was actually going to talk to those guys yesterday about it. Or tomorrow, sorry. Yesterday. But we got to put in our DCA as well for today. Before we forget. Duncan. Duncan's filling this leaderboard up. 25-24 today. Duncan, the man. Thank you, Duncan. All right. Maple Bitcoin hiring. Yeah. So what I actually want to do with Maple Bitcoin is I want to, I don't really want to hire one person specifically, but we do have things that we need done. And so I don't know if it's best to like put out some bounties. Honestly, I would like if somebody out there could like take our videos and make shorts of them and make short clips and like make them attractive to Twitter and Nostr and YouTube, because there's a lot of good stuff in there and none of us have the time to like go through it and find the best clips. So kind of what I was thinking is like if somebody finds some good clips and starts sharing them, like, I mean, one easy thing we could do is just zap people like that. That's the best case for me. Just zap sats based on people creating videos, creating clips from our stuff and sharing them, because it's a little different. Like I find it a lot better when somebody in the audience that has skills takes like a 5-minute clip from our conversation, the 5 minutes that they really enjoyed, because there's probably more people out there who are going to enjoy that as well. And it's different from like my perspective when I'm trying to find clips and stuff, like what I think people like versus what people actually like. So that's why I thought if we could like decentralize our medium of exchange or medium of communication and pay people to do that, I think that that'd be a really good strategy. But I got to talk with those guys first. But I mean, even if you did it, I can zap you without Maple Bitcoin's permission from my own stash. Speed doesn't show the comment. I would actually like this for my own channel too. So depends what your skills are. Daniel says speed doesn't show the comment. I know that's the only thing I don't like about speed. Sats and Sunset. I heard someone say XR poop coin, and that's what I'm going to call it from now on. Zeus is the best lightning wall. I agree with that. It is complex. I had a hard time with it. New logo is BA. What does that mean? BA. Am I missing something there? No, new logo is BA. All right, sheep. BTC pleb might be a sheep. BA. Nav says they're going to put the world on the dollar standard with stable coins and print the hell out of the dollar so they don't let prices fall. They don't care if the debt goes worthless because the things are owned by debt also lose value because of AI. Yeah, it's a super interesting world we're going into. Badass. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Badass. I thought the logo was pretty sweet. Yeah, me too. I generated that on Venice.ai. Oh, Parker's here. Good morning, Parker. Bitcoin Asteroids is my favorite. Nice. I haven't played that one yet I only played it on my phone and it was tough. Keith says, morning, Joy Bitcoiners. I believe you once said that you're not a fan of memorizing seed phrases. Yes. Can you explain why? Yeah. I would say it's okay to memorize your seed phrase, just not for like your main stack. So like if you get to a point in your Bitcoin security here, you want to have your QR codes geographically dispersed. You want your recovery phrase encrypted for your main stack. You want your main stack to be very difficult for even you to access. Not complicated, but difficult. Because if it's difficult for you to access with all the information, it's going to be very difficult for somebody else to access that. So that's what you want to get to there. Like have a multi-sig with encryption, everything organized, set up properly. Shit, mom's calling. Oh, I got to go right away anyway, so I'll call her back. That's your main stack though. But if you had like within that setup, you probably still want a couple other wallets. So you might have a Coldcard at home, like I suggested there, like a backup one. You might have some on Aqua, whatever that may be. And I think it's probably a good idea to maybe memorize a seed phrase for like 5% of your stack, just in case everything else goes to shit. It's not a bad idea. And you have to flee somewhere very quickly without, I don't know. There's definitely trade-offs with it. There's good reasons to have it. But the reason why I don't like it, and the reason why I wouldn't put like the majority of my stack on one seed phrase that I memorize is because somebody's going to be able to extract that from you. either using some sort of futuristic technology or torture. But if you don't know it, I feel like you have you're going to be much better with plausible deniability. So somebody breaks in your house, they, do everything that they need to get your Bitcoin on. If you actually can't access it, your tone, your mannerisms, your everything, your body language, your overall just like vibe, I guess we'll call it, is going to be much different than if you have the ability to actually give them your Bitcoin. If there's literally nothing that you can do at your house, that's what you want to get to, and you know that, then I think it's going to be easier to convince somebody that. Whereas if you have it memorized and somebody's trying to get it from you, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to give it to them pretty easily. So that's why I don't like the idea of memorizing it. Plus, people memorize it and then they don't write it down because they think that that's why they're memorizing it. And then they get hit by a bus and their memory's gone. Or they get some sort of rare disease and their memory's gone. And then your Bitcoin's gone. So it really depends on if you plan on passing it down to your family or not. But yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So nobody can get it out of you. Made a new mnemonic of my seed phrase just for fun. Yeah, I mean, it's not so that you have to rely on it. It's because you don't want to know it. You don't want that information in your head. It has nothing to do on relying on it. It's a liability in my opinion, anyways. Michael from Augusta, Georgia. Wow. How do Sats Arcade app work? They don't have an app, I don't think. It's just a website. So I prefer using it on my laptop versus my mobile phone. But yeah, I'll put that link in there one more time for people if you want to go sign up for the Sats Arcade. If you got some free time. Morrow says Border Wallet and Sparrow fixes the memory wallet. Yep. Tuned into Forrest. This is from Josh. Tuned into Forrest's Ask Me Anything yesterday. He's good with TradFi questions. Needed his advice on my Lira. He's meant to. Yeah, Forrest is a really intelligent fella. Very. I love Forrest. Big fan of him. Smart dude. And that's why I like Maple Bitcoin so much, is because the three of us have such unique skill sets in terms of Bitcoin. We're not all focused on the same things. And so with that, it makes for a pretty powerful combination in my mind anyways. So yes, Forrest is great. Love Forrest. Okay, I got to wrap up here. We got some things happening in the household today. I don't know where that 20,000 came from though, but I wish I did, because they're the Zap king or queen today so far. So that's the standard 20,000 sats. The crown so far today might be beat, might not be, but whoever it was, show yourself or don't. But either way, I very much appreciate it. So we got 1,000 sats as well. Big shout out to everybody. I'm sorry we got a short show today, but my alternative was no show. So we got in what we could. I got to hit the road here. I'll be back right here tomorrow. And one more thing before we go here, as Josh mentioned, I should share this because it's an important. So I actually wanted to talk about security today. We didn't get around to it, but I think I gave a pretty good answer in terms of like where people should be starting on their security journey. But you guys start taking this shit seriously, because it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And you need people in your life. And part of being sovereign and secure is having a good community of people who can keep you up to date, give you information, relevant information, and have your back. So as Josh said here in Zapstream, honestly, Maple Bitcoin membership is so worth the sats. Anyone contemplating, just do it, eh? So there you go. Check out school.com/Maple Bitcoin. Join the community. It'll be the best investment you ever make in your entire life, I promise. So that looks like it was from Kev. 1,000 sats. Thank you, Kev. Thank you, everybody else. And I'll be back here tomorrow. I might make a couple videos today. I might post one on the channel, but we'll see. I got an interesting week ahead here. So anyways, have yourselves an amazing day. Thank you once again for being here, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.